Earlier on in the week, we recorded episode 87 of Soccer Cards United, and now it's time for Postcards United. This is our Q&A show where we talk about the stuff that you submit. And for those of you watching on the video version of this podcast, you'll notice that there's a thing that says Postcards United on the screen.
Jason, so you keep getting better.
We had a good response to the video of Monday's podcast. I know the sound wasn't great, but
we're going to work on that.
We're going to work on that. That was basically, I just got distracted by the video. But yeah, we're slowly improving all the time and adding little features because we have to do the show anyway. We're doing the show anyway, so we might as well, get tinker with it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I love that.
Now, Enzo, you're broadcasting from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Do you want to tell us about that?
For the first time ever, Soccer Cards United is being broadcasted from the United States.
Yeah.
I touched down Tuesday. It's Thursday now.
Right.
Touched down in Minneapolis. Had a long enough journey, but it was really, really good because my plane was basically empty. No one sitting beside me. I got to sleep on the plane. It was incredible. I've just been enjoying the city. I've seen a few bits.
Good.
I'm going around I'm here for VCon, of course. That is kicking off today.
Right.
There's a indoor. Jason, I was telling you about this. There's an indoor five-a-side kind of satellite event taking place today.
Yeah, five-a-side soccer.
Right. So that was indoor, and I said I wasn't sure I'll do it. So I Googled the place, and it is indoor AstroTurf. So I said I'll have myself a bit of that. And it finishes 1 hour before the conference starts. So I'm going to do that, go home, get a shower, and bop along to the kind of welcome party, which is all outdoors. A block party, they call it, Jason.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying the city. It's a bit weird because I'm here alone. So it's actually my first time traveling completely solo.
Oh, wow. And you've chosen to go a long way for
transatlantic.
Transatlantic,
I've been in Italy by myself for like a few odd days here and there, but I've never gotten a plane to a location with the premise of being there alone for however long. Went out for my first meal solo yesterday. Went into a restaurant. I said, "Can I have a table for one?" And she was just like shook. And I was like, "Oh God," because I had to hype myself up, be like, "This is fine. Like you can do this.
You can eat on your own. Of course you can.
Absolutely, you can." And I was like, "Can I get a table for one?" And then maybe it's my accent, but she was kind of, "Sorry, for how many?" And I went, "Just one."
Yeah.
And she had two menus in her hand. And she put one down, and I was like, "Great." And then she sat me down at a table in the corner, and then like the waiter serving me was like very, very polite. He took my order, and after he took my order, he was like, "You're not waiting on anyone else, are you?" And I was like, "No."
Oh, come on.
There was a lot of that. I was just like, "Oh, for fuck's sake." And it was actually such a nice burger place. It was the Parlor in downtown Minneapolis. And I'd love to go back because like it was such a good burger, but I'm not going back.
No, because then if you just eat on your own one time in a restaurant, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you keep going in there to eat on your own, then you're the guy who comes in here sometimes and eats on his own. Now you are going home in a week. So
yeah. So it doesn't really matter what anyone.
It doesn't really matter what you do. No.
Well, no, it was socially uncomfortable enough for me to say I'll just find somewhere. I'll experience it somewhere else this time.
Fair enough.
Great burger though.
I presume you didn't catch the Europa League final.
No, I was actually disgusted. I was in the Mall of America, Jason, at that time, and it was like 12 o'clock. I looked at my phone, 12 o'clock. My train ticket still had 40 minutes on it. And I said, "Oh, this is unbelievable. I'm actually going to get to use the same train ticket to go back." And I was buzzing. I was going to catch the Europa League final at 2 p.m. All I needed to do, Jason, in the Mall of America, Jason, all I needed. This is a place with JD. This is a place with several Foot Lockers. This is a place with a Nike store. All I needed to do was pick up an all-white pair of Nike Air Force Ones, and I could go about my business. I left the Mall of America at like 3 p.m.
Wow, it took you that long to find.
I didn't find them. They didn't have them.
You didn't find a pair of clean white Air Force Ones?
No, they were all like, "Whoa, man, no, we don't got that." And like in Dublin, every shop
has them.
Every shop.
Yeah.
Like you're only short of Starbucks having them. Like everyone has them. Over here, they look at me like, "No, man, it's been 2 months." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Wow. So then, you know what we should do? You should stay over there, and I'll ship you over some.
Can I say? I already that in my head. I was like, "There's a big market here."
Yeah.
I know you can order them online, I guess, but like I don't get. To be honest, I started thinking like maybe they're such a popular shoe. They're like, we have a brick and mortar. These sell online. We're not having them in the shop.
Yeah, because you're coming here for like a specialist item.
Yeah, like other shoes probably have a better margin than Air Force Ones. I don't know the intricacies of the shoe world, but
no,
it's fucked up. So in the end, Jason, I settled on an all black pair of Air Force Ones, which I managed to find in Foot Locker.
Right. Well, that's good.
So I needed shoes. I should have just packed. I only brought like running shoes. I said I'll just pick up some Air Force Ones there for kind of the event, nice, clean, new, and I'll bring them back with me.
But you didn't. So you didn't see the Europa League final then?
No, I missed it.
Oh,
Sorry.
it was very good.
Was it a cracker or was it?
No, it wasn't a cracker. It was just a great. It was more, some finals are better occasions than matches.
Yeah.
It was a great occasion, but it wasn't necessarily a fantastic match. There were moments. The Eintracht Frankfurt goal was quite exciting, and there was a 118th minute wonder save from Kevin Trapp to stop a Rangers winner, and then Aaron Ramsey missed a penalty. And if you listen to Monday's podcast, I was giving stick to Aaron Ramsey, and then he messed up. So
you unnerved him.
I unnerved him. Got in his head.
Did Frankfurt? We all know why you wanted Frankfurt to win that.
Yeah. So we have loads of questions.
Yeah, sorry.
But I'm excited that you're in America. You're safe. The hotel is nice.
Hotel is very nice.
Great, beautiful. Right. So this is Postcards United. First question. Oh, hang on, that didn't work. Oh,
that's embarrassing.
That's very embarrassing for me. Oh my god.
Oh my god. You've never used a PowerPoint before?
No, it's not a PowerPoint. Oh, here we go.
Okay, sorry.
So this is from Instagram, which you can tell from all the Instagram logos.
Great job here.
Thank you. And this is from Dave Rocco Official or Dave Rock Official on Instagram. He says, I don't really know what the context of this is. I mean, the picture was of Theo Hernandez and Rafael celebrating. But he says, what do you think about the Italian Serie A? So my feeling is that this is not necessarily a listener.
Okay.
Or a long-time listener anyway.
What do you think about in what context? In an investing context? How do you feel about the league?
I don't know. I think I'll just sum up very quickly what we think of Serie A.
I think it's great.
Enzo thinks it's great. Enzo's Italian. He's a Milan fan. I think it's great. It's been the most exciting title race in Europe this year. As a prospector, as a card investor, it's not the best league in the world because it's got a very high average age of players. Players hit their prime generally around the age of 32, 33 in Italy. But there are some young stars there like Victor Osimhen, Federico Chiesa, these kind of Tammy Abraham, Theo Hernandez, Rafael, that kind of. Yeah. So we think it's good, basically.
We think it's good.
Yeah. We think the stadiums could be better.
Did you see the Dybala, his final game for Juventus?
I did. He was crying. He was in
ball. He's been forced out of the club. Yeah.
Sad. That was sad. But there's talk that he might go to any number of clubs, including Inter and Milan.
Yeah, I don't particularly want to see him at Inter. I could see him for us. Well, I'm not hugely pushed on him.
You're not pushed.
He's a great player.
He's a bit injury prone for me. He's like
Milan are going in like a really good direction. I don't think that would necessarily be on the same level.
Yeah, I agree. I think Milan have built this current success by like picking up players that had a big upside to them.
Yeah.
And I don't really see the upside for Dybala. So let Inter take him, I would say. Maybe so.
I think he was linked. Was he linked with your Atletico?
He was. He has been occasionally, but he would be just another in a long line of Atletico players, like Atletico attacking midfielders / second strikers that never really, he'd be a real Nico Gaitan.
He'd be left on the bench and it would just be like, he doesn't really press. It's like, yeah, but why'd you bring him? You kind of knew.
Exactly. Okay. Next one is from Yobbo Cards, who said he'll see us at the National in July. And who I believe we met at the London Card Show. I think he was our first ever say at the London Card Show. Is that him? I
believe so.
So he just wanted to say that Theo Hernandez is the best left back in the world.
100%. Has been for a while. Has been. I mean, okay. No, we had this conversation, I think, a while back. We said Andy Robertson is obviously absolutely there.
Yeah. I had another one in my head there that I forgot. Oh, who was I just thinking of? Jordi Alba would have been, but obviously isn't anymore. Yeah.
No. Well, Hernandez, like I'm telling you, I've been saying it for a while. He is different class. I think Alphonso Davies was in the mix.
Alphonso Davies was who I was thinking of as well.
Yeah. I think Robertson probably has it at the minute just because of how good Liverpool are. But I think if you put Robertson in Milan's team, he wouldn't be performing the way Hernandez is. So for me, like on talent and upside, I believe Hernandez is younger. Theo Hernandez is just a beast. And I want to see him in the French squad. He's been getting disrespected for years now in the French squad. His brother plays there, as well. Lucas Hernandez, who plays for Bayern. But Theo Hernandez is just a world class player, and it's just what he did in the last game and all season has just been incredible. And to be honest, I kind of like his underratedness, because I think if he wasn't as underrated as he was, he probably would have left Milan a couple of years back. Clubs probably would have sniped him up, but I love him.
That makes sense. A bit of a big one here from Spa City Cards, but I'll read it. As many of the leagues are finishing up their seasons, do soccer cards tend to see any seasonal trends? For example, NBA, NFL, MLB generally see card prices increase in the lead up to the beginning of the season. Performance often dictates prices during the season, and then prices tend to drop at the off-season, even for the champions. If there are any trends for soccer, do you think having a World Cup later this year will alter anything? Thanks, and enjoying the well-edited podcast and now famous YouTube show. Well, first of all, thank you, Spa City Cards. The editing is a particular point of pride on this program. And yeah, so for any kind of newer listeners or newer soccer people, the pattern generally goes, there's preseason hype. And then if anyone has a particularly spectacular run of performances or single performance in a high profile game during the season, their prices can see an increase, but then prices really hot up in the month of May when you have all of the leagues and the Champions League, Europa League and stuff like that coming to a close. And then for international tournaments, they're generally held in the summer. So we now have a World Cup in November, which will completely upset that rhythm. But yeah, if you were thinking of selling a player that you have been holding, like you're always wanting to aim for one of those kind of high points on the peaks on the hype cycle. So that'd be start of the season, maybe January transfer window as well can be one. But yeah. It follows basically the same pattern as other sports.
Yeah, it's similar. I think if you're looking at a specific player and that team gets knocked out of European competitions, probably a good time to buy. And as soon as the Champions League finishes, it tends to be kind of the off season to kind of dip.
Yeah,
as well.
Because even when we had the Euros last summer, and even in that very short period between the end of the season and the Euros, cards did dip. Because I think it's not even like anything more complicated than people just need a rest. Like, especially if you're like a card person and you're like following the sport very closely and you're following the card prices very closely, at some point during the year, you're probably going to just want to say, I have to do something else for a couple of weeks.
Understandable.
It's understandable. This is hard work, you know? Right. ATS Cards says, is Benjamin Cesco the new Ronaldo?
I don't think so. Has he been up to much recently?
Yeah, I think so. So. Let me just see on my phone.
Big preseason hype with Benjamin Cesco. He'd been performing well last year, but I think was it Okafor maybe someone took the kind of reins at Salzburg. Fucking Adeyemi was popping them in like crazy.
Yeah, and then you had Luka Sucic as well, doing very, very well.
Yeah, so in my head, he kind of got lost in that mix. Not that he's not a great player. I think he really is, but I felt like he got lost.
It's hard to know, isn't it? Because like you have, like there was talk of Borussia Dortmund going after Cesco, but now it looks like, they don't know exactly who they're going to sign. Though here's one from BVB News blog on Twitter. They previously linked Dortmund to Cesco, and obviously they just got Adeyemi, so it's highly unlikely that they take two players from the same team in the same transfer window.
Yeah, but they got Haaland, so they're obviously kind of using Salzburg as a bit of a feeder club.
True. And then they were also Borussia Dortmund apparently interested in Adam Hojek, the Czech striker who just scored the winner in the Prague derby this week. So there's talk that the new striker at BVB, along with Adeyemi, could be Sebastian Aller or Ugo Ekitike for Stade Rennes.
Aller's been so good this year. You could see him going to BVB and performing really well as well.
Definitely. So we'll have to see where Benjamin Cesco goes. It's hard, I think, for players at Salzburg. Like we saw, with the exception of Haaland, who everyone kind of like, he lived up to his hype after he left Salzburg. Now, obviously, there have been other players that have been at Salzburg that have done very well. But I'm just thinking of Patson Daka. When Patson Daka went to Leicester City, even though he's had games where he scored 4 goals in single Europa League games and all that stuff, he just hasn't like completely worked out for him price wise or profile wise. His profile hasn't really been risen that much because he hasn't been playing that much. So it's hard to know when you come from a league like Austria or even a league like Portugal or something like that, one of the second tier, say, of leagues, it's hard to know what happens to a player.
Yeah, and just for context, right? For Salzburg this year, Adamu scored 7 goals in the league. Suchek 8 goals. Noah Okafor 9 goals, and then Adeyemi 19 goals. So like in that's like the top 4. And then if you go further back down, one of the defenders, Christensen, has 7 goals. Congratulations to him. But what I'm saying in that kind of goes with what I was saying, in that Benjamin Cesco has kind of, he's not like dipped off completely. Like, he's a talented player and he's still very young, but like he's 18, so he's probably the next generation. He got 5 goals and an assist in 23 games. It's probably going to take him a year or two. Is he the new Ronaldo? No, of course not. But is he a talented player? Absolutely. Does he have potential to go up? Absolutely. Does he have some high-end cards that could be a good pickup? Absolutely.
And I think ATS cards was definitely being tongue in cheek with that, just in case anyone listening was like, wait, what? I have to buy all these Cesco cards.
Are they actually answering this seriously? They're not laughing at it?
Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong keyboard.
Look at you living with 2 keyboards.
I know, yeah.
The wrong keyboard.
Yeah, I've got a little
flex.
Little flex there, yeah. So Cha4330 says, could Norway ever be a World Cup contender? This is a Haaland question, so timeline being within his career. Because of course he anticipated what we would say, which is of course anyone could win the World Cup anytime. 100 years, who knows?
No, honestly, the honest, like the realistic answer is no, but the honest answer is absolutely, because I'm just thinking back of Greece winning the Euros. So is it possible for Norway to kind of build up? Yes. Is it likely? Not at all. In Haaland's career, that's what.
No, I would say it's not even something I would consider. If that was that would never be something to factor into your investment or even your analysis. I wouldn't even rule that out. Could Norway be a contender? Could they get to the semi-final of, say, the European Championships, like get to where Switzerland are, say, and have a consistently good performance in knockout tournaments? Yeah, of course they could. But I don't think during Haaland's career we're going to see anyone other than about 5 teams win the World Cup.
I mean, how many World Cups? I don't even know there's 5 World Cups in his career.
I didn't mean.
No, I know. Yeah, I know what you mean, but I'm just saying, like, that shows. I think
there's so few World Cups and so many teams.
Like, he has like 2, 3, or 4 World Cups max in his career. So probably not. But I could see, like, maybe in the tail end of his career, not the tail, but like at his prime when he's 30 or whatever. If Norway have a solid 4-4-1-1, and they're sitting back and they're long, like, you could see them making a run in the World Cup, but the likelihood of, like, for me, it would just be a win to see them qualifying and potentially getting out of the group stage.
No, that's it. Like, with a player like Haaland, and with so many players that have made an impression in the World Cup, a trip to the quarterfinals is more than enough. It's more than enough. No, because after the quarterfinals, you kind of expect. There's no expectation that anyone other than Brazil, Argentina, France, Spain, England, Germany are going to be there.
In the span of Haaland's career, we're more likely to see the US get to the quarters or the semis of the World Cup based on how they're developing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
and that's partly just a numbers game. Like, Norway have this kind of golden generation now, but it's only so many people in Norway.
Yeah. No, that's right. This could be the best Norway team we see ever in Haaland's career. Never, maybe never. But I mean, maybe. But like in Haaland's career, this could be the best Norwegian team, because it's not like guaranteed that they're always going to produce top quality players. So I'd agree with you, Jason. Unless they get a really solid 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1 going, and they kind of fluke their way to a counter attack on football to get through cup football, Jason. Anything can happen.
I know, the magic of the cup. Marky Versace Card says, thoughts on Topps Chrome UEFA having a slightly different checklist to Topps flagship. So just to say on this, the Topps Chrome checklist came out. They've added players, basically added rookies, and we're going to go over it on Monday's podcast, so we can skip this. Japan Sports Cards, who has a great YouTube channel, by the way, which I recommend. Japan Sports Card. Tips for organizing your soccer card collection. Do you do it by player, club, team, country, set, or another idea?
I do mine by set.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, if it's not like my PC, like my PC is its own thing, but like cards that I plan to sell someday, I do it by set, because sometimes I'm like, where's that stadium club? And then I just kind of know where to go, you know, instead of, I just think it's cleaner.
Right. I just do it
On the
by,
floor.
I just do it. I'm a very messy. I have like my Ireland cards are all in a, like they're all on shelves basically. And they're not, like they should be in like drawers or something. So like you can like flick through them like a filing cabinet. Mine aren't like that. I have to actually pick mine up and mangle them and, go through them like that.
So basically you're saying you need tips.
I need tips. So if anyone has a good idea, but then when I see all these solutions for this and put them in, I like having my cards where occasionally I'll knock a pile of them over and a card will be, and a card will like kind of like, like slide out of the deck and I'll go like, oh yeah. Oh, I know that card. Because otherwise, like when you shut them away,
you never
get to enjoy them.
Okay.
So I think my tip for organizing your soccer card collection is don't sacrifice enjoyment of your collection for organization. Mine's more of a philosophy of organization. Right. Okay. JC Boardman asks, where does Tony Kroos rank as an all-time German footballer, and thoughts on his RCs?
He's a top quality player.
I was thinking about Tony Kroos based off this question, and about how like the fact that he's still performing. Like you look at the recent, or the run that Real Madrid have had this season and over the last couple of seasons, and Modric obviously seems to have this new set of lungs and he's running around, and but Kroos definitely doesn't. Like you watch him and he was never the quickest and he was never the most athletic, and he's even now less quick and athletic than he ever was. But it's like, just look at him, and I feel like Real Madrid actually tend to go for a lot of these players. A lot of other top clubs, you can tell why they've been brought in. They have this set, they have that skill set. But a lot of Real Madrid players you look at and you go, he's just really good. Like Tony Kroos shouldn't be able to keep up in a Champions League semi-final or something like that. But he just can, because he's just that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, like he was a superstar at Bayern Munich before he went to Real Madrid, and just kind of almost sickening how good he is, just effortlessly talented and just great at what he does. He obviously won the World Cup as well with Germany as well.
Yeah. I'm just looking at his I'm trying to find one of his rookies here.
He scored an absolute cracking goal against, I think, Sweden in the World Cup. They obviously had a bad World Cup that time, but he scored that free kick, which was just unbelievable. He got the death at a very bad angle. So, but like all time, like there's a lot of German footballers. Like where does he rank in terms of Germans all time? Midfielders would be a better question, I would say.
Yeah, I'm just looking here just to give people an idea of Tony Kroos's trophy cabinet.
Putting his trophies on the table.
Yeah, so he's got 3 Bundesligas with Bayern.
That's under Bayern, okay. Yeah,
with Bayern, yeah. 2 DFB Pokals, 1 Super Cup, 1 Champions League, won the treble there in 2012, 2013 under Jupp Heynckes at Bayern Munich. Then for Real Madrid, he has 3 La Ligas. Let me see, 3 Champions Leagues.
Could make it 4.
And the FIFA World Cup. He was the best player of the tournament at the under 17 UEFA Championships, European Championships in 2006. So that's how long he's been one of the best players in the world. He was one of the best 17-year-olds in the world in 2006, and he's one of the best players in the world still at 2022.
Yeah. That's an interesting one, because I don't know if he was like, I don't know if you can put it up, like, was he at the under 21 European Championship at any point in his career? Or did he kind of bypass that, go straight into the national team?
Let me see.
That would just be interesting for the Bowman under 21s. Like, is it a case of there might be some really elite players that actually just skip the under 21s and then are not in that product, you know?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So 2006, 2000. Okay, let me just find under 21 European Championship. So I'll have to go and find their.
No, but like surely if you put in Tony Kroos under 21 European Championship, something could pop up.
Yeah, probably could do that, but I've gotten okay, so hang on. So 2009, let's see. Because he was still playing with the under 17s 2008. I know that much.
Under 21s, he played from 2008 to 2009. He made 10 appearances, got 2 goals. Was any of that in the European Championship? I don't know. I don't think so. He made his senior debut at the age of 20.
Oh my God, look at this. Here's the team that won the 2009 under 21 championship, right? It was Germany versus England. The final, Germany won 4-0.
Okay.
And the team for Germany that day included Manuel Neuer, Benedict Howades, Jerome Boateng, Mats Hummels, Gonzalo Castro, Sami Khedira, Mesut Ozil, Sandro Wagner. So Toni Kroos wasn't even getting a look in.
Jesus. Oh, here's Jason. Here's a snippet, right? Kroos' debut for the under-21 team came on the 5th of September 2008 in a 2009 European Championship qualifier against Northern Ireland.
Right.
And scored the opening goal in the 11th minute. His second goal for the under-21 side was a goal in Germany's 1-0 win over Italy. Get fucked. It was a precise long-range goal at an angle. It came as a surprise that coach Horst, or Verst, I don't know how you pronounce this, Horst Ruschbeck, I don't fucking know, left him out of Germany's under-21 squad for Euro 2009. Germany went on to win the competition without him. Then he obviously went on to win the World Cup.
Very interesting.
So there you go.
Very interesting.
So maybe in that case he would have made it into a Bowman Chrome if he was part of the qualifiers. I don't know, maybe not. A road to the
road to the under 21. So anyway, he has a rookie card there for 2007. It's a WCCF card for Bayern München. And his skill is listed as fearlessly attacks the goal. And he's still fearlessly attacking the goal. Definitely one of the best German midfielders of all time. And you'd have to rank him as so many of that 2014 World Cup winning squad are among the best German players of all time because they're one of the generations that won the World Cup.
Yeah, they've only won it 4 times. So.
Yeah, so...
Well, surely like Gerd Muller, etc. is probably...
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, like, and thoughts on his RCs. I don't know, like Toni Kroos, it'd be a case of you'd be banking on the German hobby getting bigger and bigger, which it is.
Yeah.
But yeah. If you get a high grade of his WCCF, it's always...
I'm sure he might have a sticker as well, same year. I don't know.
Could do. Right. STP Sports and Co. asks for sleeper picks of players to explode in the World Cup market value wise.
Nkunku, I think, could be a nice shout.
If he can get a look in.
Yeah, just won Bundesliga Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
If he manages to kind of get a starting lineup in the front of that French squad, he could be a huge performer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, in terms of it's a bit far out. We don't really know who's going to be playing for the top teams at this stage. Like, will the likes of Charles de Ketelaere get a look in for Belgium? I don't know. The Belgian team is stacked. Someone like sorry, I was just trying to work out something else. Someone like Noah Okafor could be there for Switzerland. I like as a kind of a sleeper pick. I like the Ghanaian lads. I think Eddie Nketiah and Callum Hudson-Odoi declaring for Ghana and going to the World Cup. They're players that already have a profile. And I think it's players like that where people already know who they are, and a good run of form then makes people assign them all these attributes which they didn't previously assign to them. And it can be a bit easier to raise their prices quickly than someone who people don't know. So you have to learn, who is this person? Where do they play? And then, okay, let's all buy their cards, you know?
Do you still think Leo Messi is a good boy leading into that World Cup, Jason?
I do think Leo Messi is a good boy leading into that World Cup. Because I think Argentina could go all the way. And I think he just desperately wants it. And I just hope it's one of those times where Messi reminds a lot of people who he is and what he can do.
I think Rafael Leao could have a shout for Portugal again. They're a stacked team, but he could kind of... I could see him not starting, but I could see, like, in the early group stages, maybe Portugal are a goal or two up. He comes on. He has a lot of space for a counter-attack, and then we see him getting a few goals.
Mm-hmm.
Could look spectacular, because when you're on a counter-attack, it tends to look spectacular when a team is more open.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, we don't.
Yeah.
we don't really know. Like you could go look at Brazil.
The American lads as well.
The American lads. Look at Brazil. You could have like someone like Anthony, if he can make it into the squad, could have a real moment. The American lads, yeah, Annie, like we just had it today. I'll give you one now, actually. Here's one. I don't know if it's a sleeper because the news just today we heard the news. The under-21s coach for Germany confirmed that Malik Tillman had switched his international allegiance to the US and was going to pursue a career with the US men's national team instead of trying to make it to the Die Mannschaft senior team. So he, again, is another entry into the wide open race to be the starting number 9 for Greg Berhalter in Qatar. Yeah. And he has loads of rookies from the Jude class from 2020, 21.
Stadium Club, everything else.
So he's a guy you can go and pick loads of his cards and just sit on them because they're going to set you back an arm and a leg. And if it turns out that he is the starting striker and he gets a goal for the US at the World Cup, boom.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom. Sean White says, we're on to Twitter questions now, as you can see from the change of background. With the talk of time to sell Haaland cards, would the preseason tour of America be the best time? So this kind of links back to what that other question we had about how is the soccer season structured in terms of price. And the next big thing for Haaland is the preseason with Man City.
Yeah, I definitely think that could be a good time to sell if you see him scoring a few goals against kind of a smaller team. The hype will start because people are going to be like, he's going to be doing this in the Premier League for City.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely, if he pops off, like basically pay attention. If he pops off during the preseason tour, a lot of people will want to buy in because they'll expect a big boom when he kicks off the actual season.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think you have to, again, this isn't quite like you. Yeah.
No, I was going to say best time, maybe not. Like it's a good time to sell if he pops off, but the best time to sell could be when the Premier League actually starts because he could be ripping it up. And especially, we've seen Haaland's biggest price boom when he scored a brace in the Champions League against Sevilla. He probably has a very good chance of scoring multiple braces or hat-tricks in the Champions League now that he plays for Man City. So the best time to sell is either going to be the preseason tour based on hype. If he goes to the Premier League, continues to perform, that'll be an amazing time to sell. If we see him continue his amazing Champions League record in City colours, then he's going to be, gone crazy.
Yeah, I think the fact that the World Cup is in November is going to dictate a lot of it. Like I would say if you wanted to sell this side of the World Cup, if you were planning on selling sometime this year, then the preseason, assuming he scores a million goals in every preseason game, which of course he might not do, but let's assume that he does, then this would be a good time to cash in on your Haaland cards, I think, because with the disruptive nature of the first half of next season, it may be that even if he does score a few goals in Premier League, how much of a momentum is he going to be able to build up when everyone's breaking up, in the end of October for the World Cup? Then he comes back, then everyone comes back, and now he has to play against a load of tired people in the Champions League in the second half of the season. So I would say if you don't sell before the season starts or around the start of the season, then I wouldn't consider selling again until the business end of next season. So in kind of 12 months' time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if you're looking to move your Haaland stuff, you stay alert. Let me just see what time we're at. Okay, we're just about finishing up with a huge question. This could probably be an entire episode, but I'd love to hear someone like you guys talk about investments, current and future flips, and just opinions on who to buy. I'm newer to the sport and know a lot of guys now, but I still like to hear this type of stuff from experienced soccer people. So the first thing to say is that that's actually generally not a kind of content that we do on the show. There are a lot of soccer card and sports card people that do that kind of stuff, but it's not something we tend to do. Should we do more of that? And so I don't think it's not really our thing.
No, if we kind of spoke about a specific player in a specific product, it would be a bit of a pump, I guess. We do talk about players though that we like for sure.
That's it. I mean, I think we like to approach it in a more kind of oblique way. Like we try and give you an idea of what's going on in football. We mention loads of players every episode, and kind of mention them in passing. And then it's if someone keeps coming up week in, week out, that's probably a good sign. Because we kind of want people to just be a bit more casual about soccer. I think one of the things, like if I was trying to get into basketball investing, I would be like super focused on like, right, this player, right. But it'd be really hard to get an overall idea of the sport. And I think sometimes when people just, you see YouTube videos and Instagram posts and all this stuff from people, and it's just like a headline, like, now it's a good time to buy this guy. And for people that are new to the sport, that doesn't really give you any context as to why should I buy him? Who is he? What club does he play for? What's actually going on in the world of soccer? We could reel off, like we do every episode, loads of players to buy, but it's just not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is like sidetrack that just came to my head as you were chatting. Julian Alvarez gone to Man City as well.
Yeah.
In the shadow of Haaland, like, do you expect him to be getting game time? Do you expect him to go out on loan? Like, where does he fit in to that whole thing? Could he nail in a starting spot, have Haaland on the bench, and then Price go to the fucking moon? What do you think?
I'm not sure. I mean, the Julian Alvarez one, I actually was thinking of Julian Alvarez earlier when we were talking about when players come from. Julian Alvarez on everyone's mind. And he's a player that could go to the World Cup and probably will be in the squad as well. Not that he'll get a look in, but could be there in Qatar in November. But when we're talking about Salzburg and players coming from leagues that are not kind of Europe's top 5 leagues, Julian Alvarez obviously a champion with River Plate in Argentina, so it's slightly different to playing in the Austrian Bundesliga and a whole other level of pressure and of prestige. So it's not like he's just some random guy walking in off the street. However, we don't know with Julian Alvarez. He's coming in. Pep says he wants him around the team. He's going to have him there. And, he's not going out on loan. And that's what Pep likes to do. Happened with Phil Foden. Is happening with Liam Delap. So there's a chance that Julian Alvarez comes to Manchester and just sits on the bench for a couple of years.
Yeah.
We don't know. But then there's also a chance that him and Haaland form, Sterling could go this summer. Gabriel Jesus could go this summer. And now you have 2 spots potentially in the starting lineup that could be taken up with a new strike partnership of Haaland and Alvarez.
Fucking nuts.
Halvarez, we'll call them.
Stop that.
Halvarez, Haa.
No.
Varez.
No. Very
That's
bad,
pretty
Jason.
good. That's pretty good stuff.
Don't agree.
I'm gonna have to do a little graphic up for that. I'm coining that now because people are gonna, as soon as they play together, people are gonna use that. So I'm saying I'm getting in early. Halvarez, that's ours. You can't use that, everyone.
That's a snippet, Jason.
That's a snippet.
Make the logo, make the graphic, but then snip it over. I don't know. I don't even know.
I'll do something with it. So yeah, Chad, I realize it's probably a bit of a cop-out answer, but I mean, I don't want to say like if you're listening, we talk about players all the time, but we kind of do.
Yeah, we wouldn't be like, lads, go all in on this.
No, that was basically, we've gotten to a point on the show where it's like it's a bit irresponsible for us to just like say like this player now go do that. Everyone buy him because then if the player's value goes up, we get accused of pumping.
Yeah.
So, but like you look at we tipped Julian Alvarez before he moved to Man City. We've been talking about Luis Diaz. We've been talking about Darwin Nunez. Loads of players. I mean, like I'll give you an example. There's a player, Brennan Johnson, who plays for Nottingham Forest, who are just in their first ever playoff final. Of course, 2-time European Championships, European champions, Nottingham Forest. But Brennan Johnson is an academy product there. He's had an unbelievable season. I think he has 19 goals in the championship or across all competitions this season and 9 assists or something. Brilliant, exciting young player, about to go to a playoff final to get into the Premier League next season, and has autographs in Leaf Pro Set that just came out, obviously unlicensed. But he's a player that if Nottingham Forest get into the Premier League, we definitely be talking about him. And if people want us to do like a spotlight on players, we can, but I'd rather spend the time giving people a better idea of what's going on in the larger world of football and then let them draw their own conclusions from that.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with everything, but definitely, giving people a small bit of info and letting them kind of watch a game themselves, keep an eye on them, track them. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, so for instance, I just said Brennan Johnson. So if you're in a place where the EFL Championship final will be broadcast, which it definitely will, no matter where you are, because it's the richest game in football. Watch that, have a look at him, because you have a bit of context, as opposed to me saying he's got an auto in the Pro Set, get out there, buy it,
get it.
So yeah, right. That's it for Postcards United. Enzo gonna leave you in peace to enjoy Minneapolis.
Okay.
Anything else you want to tell the people before you? Did that meetup ever materialize?
Monday. It's gonna happen Monday. So at the minute, it's just two of us, I believe. We're gonna go. There's a card shop we're supposed to go to. Apparently, it's closed on Monday, so that's what happened in the DMs right now. I almost met up with someone last night as well. There was a few like pre-meetups going on in different hotels, but he ended up. He was actually in a hotel closer to me than the one I went to. But the one I went to was popping, Jason.
Oh,
yeah. I met a few lads. Got myself two. I was in. Do you know what actually happened? I asked them for a Jameson ginger, right? Like when they came to me, because it was a rooftop. This is. Can I just say this was like for VCon we got given like a list of hotels.
Yeah.
And that they did like deals with that you could get it a bit cheap or whatever. We went to this hotel rooftop bar. This was not on the list, and this is where like everyone is staying. If you know, like everyone, like the 137 crew was there. Gary V was there. There was people coming and going. Seth Green, all these celebrities, we're all just. But I didn't know. I was just like, there was people there that none of them were staying there. I don't think they were just like, we're in the rooftop having wine. If you come, there's free wine. I was like, oh, I'm coming. So I went there and I just started seeing a lot of people. I'm like, shit, and I'm like, fuck, get to the rooftop. And then it was meant to be like wine on arrival, but then they were drinking wine. I sat down, and then like a waiter just came to take my order, and I was like, fuck. I was like, can I get a Jameson and ginger ale? And then they were like, oh, we don't have Jameson. And I said, oh, get me whatever whiskey and ginger ale. And they're like, cool. And then I'm just sitting there, and then people were chatting, and the people were talking about like, have you seen some of the prices in here? Like, there's some fucking steep things. And I thought to myself, I've
just told him to pick whatever whiskey he wants.
Whatever whiskey.
He's going to go to the top shelf.
Yeah, I was drinking this whiskey being like, this tastes very good.
Yeah.
And then I was also like, oh my God, I have no idea how much this is. And then they came back around like as I was almost finished it. And then the guys were like, yeah, we'll get him another one of them. And I was like, yeah, give me another one of these. But I was like, how much are these? Like I had no idea. I had no context. But one of the gentlemen that I was with paid for it all.
Oh, somebody took care of it.
Yeah, someone took. He's like, I got this. Don't worry. We're all family. All this kind of. It was lovely. It was great. It was very American. I don't know. They're from LA. But my thing is, I would definitely go back there, but I have no idea how much though. Because like the thing is, part of me, I want to go back. Another part of me is like, I don't know if I can even afford a round.
Yeah.
Because I'll buy his round. Because Dublin's so expensive, but I just don't know.
No, that's
like
not
off the wall.
Dublin's expensive, but that's buying alcohol
like
on a rooftop bar in a hotel it's totally different. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, we're supposed to go back there tonight, and like part of me, I'd love to see the lads, but part of me is like, do they have prices on the menu?
Yeah.
Online? Can I just check? Can I just make sure it's not in the four figures? You're
just a simple sports card merchant.
A few hundred, I'll deal. Like I can do. I can even if it's expensive. Like I can.
Might seem like a waste of money, but you can do it.
But I can do exactly. But I'm like, they were talking big numbers.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
God, terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. So my plan today is to go to Stone Arch Bridge and potentially the Yellow Room. For anyone there's a few people that know Minnesota that they're chatting, and I'm going to get a bagel after this call. They're going to get a shower and a bagel.
I love bagels.
And then there's 5-a-side indoor soccer. I'm going to go to that, and then I'm going to come back to the hotel, shower, and then make my way to the Commons for the block party, Jason.
You're having a time of your life.
I wouldn't call it that, no, but I'm doing what I can. I'm genuinely though. I want to go back for drinks in that place, but I'm a person. I won't skip around, But the problem is,
well, I don't know. I don't think they're obeying a round system, are they?
No, it wasn't like that. I got 4 drinks.
That's what I'm saying. So that's not good. You see, because we're used to. For anyone who doesn't know, in Ireland we operate in a round system. So let's say you, the listener, was drinking with me and Enzo. It would go. I would buy 3 drinks. I'd buy each of us a drink. And then when we're finished, then Enzo would buy us all a drink. And then it would move to you, and you would buy us a drink, and so on and so forth. So it means that and if you leave before you've like let's say you're around with like a few people, you have to kind of wait until it gets back to you.
You have to buy a round.
Buy your last round, you buy your round, and then you go. You can't just like, let's say there's 6 people in a group, you can't get 5 free drinks and say, I actually have to go.
Even if you don't want to drink more,
even if you don't want to drink, because you just
over here, you order and they say, well, we'll keep it open. So they're putting the tab.
Yeah.
So you say, yeah, keep it open. Then you eventually close it. And my thing is, if it's my turn to do round, and anyway, there was like 5 of us there, so it's not necessarily my turn today, but still, like, you need to offer. But if I said, yeah, keep it open, I'd be like,
you don't want to open a tab. No.
Can you close that there?
Yeah. Yeah, open it and close it again.
Can you actually close that?
Yeah.
No, it's not good. So I honestly don't know, because they were talking in the millions, and I was just there like, yeah, man.
You've landed in a nest of millionaires.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm from Dublin. I'm chill. This is not.
Yeah.
I can't do that. So I might just frequent somewhere else today and just say I got caught up.
Yeah, well, see who you meet at football, because that's a people sport.
Yeah, do you know what? That's what I need to. Like, the guys are great, but I'm not.
Did you tell them you had a podcast?
Yeah. The guy who was paying.
They could be listening. They could be.
Man United fan. Yeah, but I like to be honest. I'm not trying to be Billy Big Balls here. But yeah, it was great. But I would have loved just to know some of the numbers, so I was like, it'd be like, oh yeah, that's no problem. I can go there tomorrow and look after everything. But
well, let us know how you get on Monday's show.
Oh God, I'm at a point where it's like I'm not rich enough to be here.
Yeah, but listen, Gary V said that if you come here, you make not just friends, you make family. He said he's so excited. He's so excited about the VCon babies that are going to be born, about the VCon businesses that are going to be found, about
Oh well, then Steve Aoki is everywhere over here. I'm sick of it. I'm feeling in the air.
God. I just loved his first pitch that went so badly wrong the other night at the baseball game. That's
why is he why is he everywhere?
And then Topps released a card of it, and I said if Enzo was here, he would call this outrage marketing.
Yeah, I think him pitching like that was Steve Aoki outrage marketing.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it though. I didn't see it. I just know it was really bad.
Yeah, no, it was terrible.
I don't have him down as someone that could throw a ball. To be fair.
But I tell you what, he can throw a party.
Apparently so.
Very good. That's the show. We'll see everyone on Monday for episode 88. 2 fat ladies, 88, as they say in bingo. Can you say that anymore? The show's over.